Recording in progress. Good evening. Good evening, friends. And you are friends, and this is your collective Zarina. It is such a wonderful blessing to be involved with you ladies at this time in this part of your world. So many blessings, and yet there's so much confusion. And right now, we are working to relax this channel and move into a newer version of herself that we have been encouraging her to move into and giving a lot of focus on that root chakra and spreading out to live in a more fully alignment physically and spiritually. And so now maybe you can feel the energy shifting as she is the channel that we are moving through right now. And so we are relaxing her in that way that we intend to move through her this evening. And as our dear friend Reverend Carolyn can attest to, different energies moving through different parts of the divine alignment as we are melding and molding energy systems into the power of one divine alignment. Recently, we've been talking a lot about divine will and free will, the spiritual part and the physical part expressing as one will, which moves each of you and, of course, helps us to move into a place where the alignment is so beneficial and the healing energies are strengthening tremendously. You may have heard this one say before, and Miss Serena is going to mention it again, that sometimes this one feels like the healing that she is asking of herself is way above her head because it's much more experiential and much more significant, much more powerful than previously. And of course, she has been a channel for way over 40 years, if you're working with time, for us to move through. But this is true for all of you. And so many in the physical world right now who are realms of the light filled with information. I want to spend some time tonight talking about the information highway. So now I, Serena, am going to step aside and let one of the other speakers that have lined up tonight to move through this channel. So now we step aside and let's take a peek into this part of the informational journey this evening. Ah, yes, dear ones. No surprise, it's Master Saint Germain again. I enjoy being here so much, and yes, we're talking about the information highway tonight. Each of you are on an information highway. You have to be. There is no other way of being. And of course, Master Cleon, I am stroking my beard right now because I've been around in the physical world. I was so long, but now I just enjoy this part of it, and I enjoy stroking my beard, symbolically speaking, because I have been on this planet that you are navigating on right now many, many times. But then so have you. But I chose at one point to change my life rhythm and my experience by not moving back into the spirit world. Well, anyway, that's enough about me. I want to spend a little bit of time about some fun things we think about the information highway. One of the things we have been peeking in on with this channel and how amused and how she is enjoying learning these new things because, well, sometimes she has gotten kind of bored with some of the things, and we've heard our dear Cecilia say with some things going on, it's time to move forward, or was it Barbara? Well, all of you at some point. It's time to move on and keep your minds engaged in life rhythm. We've mentioned to you before about life rhythm, and life rhythm comes along on that information highway, and there can be enthusiasm. Well, today, as we were checking in proactively with this channel, she was listening to Brene Briere as she was talking about the chakras. And we like to watch this one as she gets amused and encouraged and inspired as well. She had those who were listening to this audible book that was very short. I believe it was under an hour to listen to it about the chakra system. But how the chakras could be, and she had each of the chakras beginning with the root chakra, which is traditionally red, have personalities. And that was an idea that this one had not experienced before and not thought about. And so she had each one to think of the root chakra, which is the life-giving force. And of course, it moves forward with the physical part of your journey and in the energy systems that you are in now in this incarnation. And have red going through every atom and cell of your bodies. And then also to think about the root chakra, for example, and name it and give it a name and give it a personality. And we know that this engaged and amused this one. Well, isn't that interesting? To give each of the chakras, and then we watched her as we went to the second chakra with the orange and the different colors, and then to move the energies all the way through the whole body system and work with each of those and give them a personality and give them a name. And then also to move through the crown, and then we are expanding that tonight. And of course, we like to use our energy too and work with that healing and send that healing out into your consciousness and into the field of consciousness. And we're moving along, expanding soul consciousness at this time of evolution and this planetary experience. So anyway, and now you can see the orange as it moves forward. It's so. And to experience the fullness, or at least a much fuller engagement in life rhythm. And knowing on this information highway system, each of the chakras have, and there, of course, is the soul light above and the white light of the crown. And each of the chakras have a different energy system, a different meaning. They are each specially specialized. And yet, they are one. Because as she was explaining, and we were listening and feeling the energy of vibration, because we are focusing on vibration rather than those rules, than vibration that is infinite intelligence, shall we say, rather than the limited third dimension physical perception of things, including the food choices, the physical food, including everything. And it's kind of fun to watch this channel, but each of you, as you're moving forward in insight, in understanding the new dawn of new hope and what is possible. And as each of you were talking about that, and we're going to call it the enlightened ecosystem. Well, I don't know if you heard this right, whether it was ecosystem or eco, E-C-O, because it's both really. And it's about enlightenment, because it is the light filled with information from you individually and then collectively out into the plane of consciousness. Well, Master Cleon, this one's master teacher, is close by. And I am going to step back and or to the side and allow him to speak. And of course, Zarina has given us permission to move forward in this way. Go ahead, Master Cleon. Why, yes. And this is Master Cleon. It is a delight, ladies. It is a delight. And as we know now, we have invited this channel. We wanted her to open her eyes so that we could see you in this way. Isn't that nice to know that sometimes we have needs too? And we know that she had her eyes closed, and then too, sometimes it helps us to be able to see through her eyes. Talk about sometimes through the eyes of love. Through the eyes of love. What a blessing it is for us to move into this channel's physical energy system. And again, we're using the root chakra and those lower chakras and using the red that grounds this one and all of you in this physical world in life rhythm. The integrative part of life rhythm flowing quite nicely. Now, again, sometimes it's nice and we keep on working with this one to automatically relax, and sometimes then it's right for her to close her eyes. But there's a point in all of this. For each of you, as you are adjusting and readjusting and bringing balance into those wheels of consciousness, the chakra systems, and you are enlightening and lightening your load and relaxing in the way of compassion, in the way of loving care. And I know some of these things you know, but when you hear them in a little bit of a different way, a special way, well, then it's all about your own individual information highway. And it is about the collective in this group and the group and the people that are not here that are usually involved or that will be watching this. And it's also about the whole collective. And of course, as you work with us in the realm of spirit, it's about the whole. We're calling it the whole enchilada. And I, Master Cleon, have walked with this one in many lifetimes, and she and I have this memory of years ago when she first began working with, well, at that time it was spiritualism and metaphysics. And during an earthquake, she and I were walking as she was sometimes in a dream and sometimes through meditation. We walked. And we were walking one time in meditation it was in a group that she was in like this. And during that meditation, she and I walked together. And you've heard us talk about the healing mantle. And we were with those people who had been injured or hurt or were dying in the earthquake or in the storm or wherever it was. I'm not always good at remembering exactly those things, but that's what it was. There had been devastation, and that she and I, together, hearts coming together on common ground and maybe comforting those who were passing away. And in other ways that sometimes we could work with our energy systems, she and I. Of course, you remember she's still in the physical world, but she has moved beyond the confines of time in this meditation. And that she and I became one energy. And there were those that we could touch with our own informational know-how, one part physical and the rest, she, of course, her higher self and mine too. And of course, I had no physical body. Touching some who were not really hurt as much or came back in whatever way was necessary, and let you know it was in harmony with the individual's intention and their own heart's desires for whatever was theirs to do at that time. So this one and I, for many lifetimes, have worked together in many different scenarios. And of course, some of you may have remembered a long time ago, this one has shared the story that after she and I walked in this meditation, and there were 3 people that we covered with a sheet because they were gone. And we covered them with our sheet, and then those there covered them in the physical world with a sheet because they had come to the spirit realm. And the next morning, she turned on her television and she saw those 3 bodies with those covers on them on the morning news. What a blessing it is to be involved with mediumship and to experience its value. Again, included in the informational highway, the many different blessings and the many different ways of pulling bits and pieces together. Recently, we have been looking at a giraffe, and again, we watch over her sometimes as she sometimes scrolls Facebook and finds fun things and skips past the others. The giraffe that had the 2 humps. With those 2 humps, there is storage. There is storage. And there is desert. And there is water. And there is sustenance for a long period of time if you're talking about the physical alignment and definition, so that this camel can exist quite nicely, and it's proactivity on the information highway because they are prepared for the droughts, for the desert. And I know some of you have sometimes seen and may see now cacti and how people have learned to open the cacti and get the liquid. But I digress. Those camels are prepared for those times of seeming lack, but it is not lack. And on the information highway that this group is on and many others, it's an enlightenment. Enlightenment in your journey of moving forward, integrating health and wholeness proactively into physical know-how, physical alignment. So part of this, and we're aware of each of you and this one, and so many on the physical world have so many different emotional feelings, so much going on. All the human genome can experience all emotions, and you're doing it, girls. You are doing it. So many emotions all at one time. And yet, and please hear my voice, you are not stuck. You are not stuck without doubt. And now, once again, you can feel us as we, together as the team that we are working with this group tonight, vibrationally lower, as the song did, lower the energy. Lower the energy and bring it down into the fullness that includes the root chakra and the red. The root chakra that is a life-giving force. And of course, ladies, it's all spiritual energy, but it is at a different rate of speed, a different rate, excuse us, of vibration. And we go lower and lower and lower. And each of you too, dear ladies, are moving down into a deeper, fuller, more meaningful life experience, using health and wholeness as a guideline and knowing you have this. It's well in your reach to move past whatever you think has been possible. Not to sell yourself short, and we've had this theme before. Your own informational highway keeps drawing to you all of those things that are necessary for you to experience. As you love yourself in kind, gentle, loving ways that you may feel that kindness, that gentleness, the whisper of the loving care that moves through you in your own divine alignment that has become one with your physical intentions. Each of you as individuals and each of you as smaller collectives or teams and as larger one, and then including the whole of the planet, all of the humanness on the planet, but then that includes all of the trees and the lights of the animals, the plants, and includes the star and the moons, the stars and the moons. That heavenly part is the vibrations, the energy systems grow and change. They cannot be stagnant. So be at peace. Once again, the feminine is rising and we can move to those chakras that are high above the physical plane. And yet we can move to those chakras that are below the root chakra and experience oneness in those ways. The healing, the work in whatever way you have chosen, the work that you have intended to do, be it family or be it spiritual, service, whatever it is, or both. It's just not a big deal. And just know, again, as you slow down, and of course, you know this one likes to be a sloth in that slow, steady way. And once again, Serena's had given us the go-ahead. This one's mother would like to speak with you for a few minutes. And yes, this is Iva. I'm Iva Schoenhart. Well, Iva Irita Du Bois Schoenhart, if you use my whole name. And once again, my husband, Jacob Richard Schoenhart, is here. He stands beside me, but it's mine to share right now. Because we have watched this one. We watched our other daughter, which we've talked to you about, who is a Southern Baptist. And of course, this one is metaphysical, or so many blessings in both sides. We've watched this one grow quite nicely. And she always says, since the lockdown in COVID through now, and of course, she likes to talk about her 84 years of experience and education and the informational system that she has accumulated, and still the information she is letting go of more and more because it has become her as the information becomes you, each of you, and then you can let it go. But we watched her realize this week that her darling sister, Darlene, is a kind, gentle, loving soul. And her brother-in-law and her nephews. And they are Southern Baptists. And actually, our son-in-law, Jim, is a Southern Baptist minister with a different philosophical approach, and as this one. But we watched with joy and happiness and having fun too, that we realized, and she realized with herself, my goodness, I have come to be of service on this planet, to share and to give as the minister I am, as Reverend Violet Schoenhart, with that kind gentleness and that loving care and compassion and all of the other things, with all of the ups and the downs and the experiences. And yet, our other daughter, Darlene, has come to be a family member. And she always talked about her first and foremost priority was family. And this one, well, it was about sharing and giving in a very special way that was right for her. And of course, our daughter Darlene and her family, they are about service. But they have a different level of experience in so many ways. Coming from the same father and the same mother, and even twins have differences. And that's okay. That's what makes this such a wonderful place to live. And to be able to support each other. And I have come to respect my daughter's belief system and her journey in a way I could not have known or did not know in the physical world. And yet I knew her kindness and her love, and that she, as I think we've shared quite some time ago, but it bears repeating. When she was going on a field trip with maybe her 5th grade class, We gave her a few dollars. At that time, it was very different than this time to spend on the trip. And she brought me, her mother, a vase that somebody had made in love. And we know she has that vase now that she got back after she came, after I came to this spirit world, but she gave all that she had. And it makes me emotional at that time to her mother as she brought her a gift of love. And she spent the money we had given her on that vase to give to me. Well, you can feel my emotion, and it's coming through this heartwarming soul. Our daughter is also of that nature, but with a different framework. But it's just okay. It is just okay. And each of you have come for your own reasons, and it's okay. And now I'm getting the I'm getting the idea that I need to move aside. Thank you for allowing me to share my heart with you. I too was about family, and I was about church, and I was of the philosophy of fundamental Christianity, you might say, and yet I cared. I cared for all in a way that was right for me at the time. And my husband, Dick, we shared with each other, and we were so blessed for our family and our church and the home that we made together. We are grateful still. And I step aside. And yes, this is Serena. We are grateful to share these many blessings with you. And to let you know, too, that as you keep on moving forward, letting some things go may be difficult, but sometimes it gets easier because all of a sudden you know it's not that big a deal anymore. That energy has already become you. It has, and some of you are downsizing. I think all of you are downsizing at many different levels, but you're downsizing in the physical world. You are downsizing in that physical world because you are on the information path that you have chosen when you decided to come back into this world. And Zarina is pleased to move aside once again because here is this little joy guide Bubbles that you are familiar with as well. Hi, it's Bubbles. I'm glad they finally let me talk. Yes. We've been watching Mama too, as she's been what we sometimes have called decluttering or alchemizing or whatever, and it's not easy all the time. And we witnessed her today. You hear her talk about Costco. Well, we witnessed something today because we were right there because we are vibration together. There is this lady who she has gotten to know who is one of the supervisors. Actually, she is the second supervisor. The first supervisor is one who has a difficult time in being, well, let us say she's not as compassionate as this one we're going to call Donna, because that is her name and it's okay. But she is the second in command of the people who do the samples at this Costco. And the other one we know is having a difficult time, and It was this one's, Kotsko Donna's, day off, and she was called by one of the people to do the samples. The doors were locked, the carts weren't out, and she called the one who was her boss, and she said, "Oh, well, I'm going to take a sabbatical." Well, Bubbles watched what happened, and of course, I'm always involved, and we're working with vibration. And so, as the people that my mama has gotten to know shared with her what was going on, and this Kotsko Donna was really upset because she was going to get her nails done or whatever. And on her day off, she needed to come to work. And so she was kind of disgruntled and out of sorts, but she's a kind, loving lady. And so we watched our mama, and of course, we are working together as a team that we are. When she heard, and that lady said, "Oh, I'd be so glad when this day is over." Because now she is now the interim supervisor. All of a sudden, on her day off, until the other one comes back, which is unknown. And we saw this one go around another time, excuse me, to get some more steps in and to find Kotsko Donna. And she said, "I will keep you in my prayers." Excuse us. And it is us as this vibration, but excuse Bubbles, Mama here. She said, "I will keep you in my prayers, and I work with energy healing, and I'll keep you and I'll wrap you in love." And I not only do that, we'll do the same for the other person. And that's the way it is for my mama, but that's the way it is for each of you. It's not just about us talking about my mama. We're talking about you because that you are your own information highways. And as you are the intergalactic highway that is that inner part of you, you've been working to grow and build on those energies, your successes from this life and many other incarnations. And look what's happening within you. And of course, there are the human things, but that's part of that loving care. And Bubbles is so happy. She's so happy, and we've talked about before the lotus, as the lotus comes out of the muck into the beauty, and we'll say of soul consciousness, as each of you are tending to your own wounded souls and bringing forth the divine alignment that you have chosen to bring forth. We mention so many times, do not be dismayed. Whate'er betides, that highest, best intentional part of you, that part that is proactive and takes care of yourself right now and beyond, rather than being reactive. And when you're reactive, well, what do? You turn within and bring forth that highest and best. And when there is sadness or grief in some way or other, you know that way too. And sometimes you just need to sit in that and love that part of you as well. Well, Bubbles doesn't always get to talk, but I am so happy, and I will share with you too. It's been several years ago now, as we understand a little bit more about time, since Mama and I have been working together as a team for over 40 years, that our bubbles do not burst anymore. We used to have bubbles that burst, but now our bubbles are stable. But they may come with sorrow or anger or hate. It's even hard to say that word, but it's there for all of us as humans. And I am experiencing some of these many blessings as I am moving along with the energy system. the vibration of my mama, and I love her. And we work with her and we work with you so bubbles do not burst. And I'm grateful for that because I am bubbles. So now, once again, Master Cleon is here. Master Emmanuel is here. So many joy guides are here. And there is Dr. Jones, and there's so many alchemists are here. There's a Dr. Black here. So many doctors, so many philosophers, so many alchemizers. And again, well, I got to step aside 1 minute. This Red Eagle. Red Eagle. I come with root chakra energy too. Keep grounded on earth. Mother Earth, good to you. Red Eagle, have many feathers. Accomplished living, physical and spiritual. You good women, you too. Bring forth best of you. Don't die. At the end of your life, look back and say, I wish I'd done this and I wish I'd done that. Well, just move forward and do it. Red Eagle, can be soft and gentle and kind too, and still be happy with feet on the ground and head in the ethers. And I can use my information system as the Indian with many feathers of accomplishment, just like you. I have many incarnations as well, but this one, I protector of this channel. Red Eagle. We have talked to you before, but it bears mentioning again. Bury hatchet against self. And we see the tree with many rings of growth. And bury hatchet, not tear self apart. Love self in many different ways. Many incarnations. Pulling in some more of your suckers together, shall we say. We like humor too. Having fun is part of the alignment of divine know-how. Red Eagle, help you too right now. Just relax. And Red Eagle, step back and allow, and I guess you know who this is. It is Sister Claire Rose, the healing sister who has come to work with you in her very beautiful healing ways. And you can see her clairvoyantly. As you know, you work with that third eye, which is part of the informational highway, this hot chakra system. Yes, this is Sister Claire Rose. You can feel my peace and my energy. I draw on vibration too and work deep within. Healing sister. I work with healing with all of you. Feel free to call on me. Sister Claire Rose. You can smell that soft, gentle peak rose in your heart as you're fully aware of the energies that are changing. You can feel that which sustains you from deep within, that which loves you and sustains you, that which is you, that authentic you of you. And Sister Claire Rose and all have gathered close. You can feel the vibration, the energy of the loving all, the mender of souls. As we have read in Shakespeare, I am a mender of souls, whether it's shoe soles, which doesn't happen very often in this physical world, I understand, but those spiritual souls that hold and guide you, enlighten you, that is included in your own informational highway. Sister Clara Rose reaches into your soul lights. You can feel your light growing. And of course, I am the lead soul right now, but we're all in this as one. One loving, caring, mending soul light, etherealizing life into light, the inclusion of one and all. And of course, Zarina is here. And we are so blessed and so grateful as we sit in this consciousness for a few moments in this silence. In this silence, and allowing it to integrate into you at the depths of your beingness. Allowing this information to heal you, to love you, to caress and to nourish you in the silence. That peaceful, easy feeling in the silence. And this is Serena as we begin to wind this down. And allow that information to enfold you and love you at every level of your being. As it brings forth your conscious awareness and the way that you have intended when you chose to walk on the planet at this time. You begin to be aware of your feet and wiggling your toes and beginning to come back up into conscious awareness of the Zoom room. And we are so blessed and so grateful in a quiet, peaceful, fulfilling way as we are satisfied and we are comfortable together. And namaste.